The reality of balancing the purpose that you fulfill in your home with your kids, your marriage culture, all the things that exist within your four walls, that purpose, in addition to the purpose that you're fulfilling outside of your home, the work that you do, the business that you have started, the people that you help, when those things start to cloud together, you might hear messages like, girl, you can do anything you want to. I know you got 11 kids. I know you got a husband. I know you got a job, but you could do it all. You might hear people say, you could do all, but you can't do it at the same time. You might get a message like, girl, live in your soft girl area and don't even worry about it. Just do your best. Well, I kind of feel like those messages are like all or nothing. Either I'm driving the engine at 100% or I'm laying on the couch eating potato chips. I want to challenge today this kind of all or nothing thinking when it comes to building out balancing your life, or what I like to call harmony, right? If you are new to me or new to my podcast, hello and welcome to the Chats with Chastity podcast. My name is Chastity. I am a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a therapist. I love talking to you about how to balance all of the lovely things that you have in your life to make it intentional, both in your mind and with your time. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I grew up in the church, okay? And the kind of church I grew up into, everybody was in the choir. It doesn't matter if you can sing or not. It doesn't matter if you can keep a tune, if you can keep a beat. Ma'am, you going in this choir, okay? And with a policy such as this, you will have people in the choir who are singing a little off key. Them is ooh doo doo, and you're the note is not quite hidden, right? And so, in our environment, for the most part, I have to say this, for the most part, everybody in our, well, not everybody, most people in our choir can sing. Okay, they can hold a note. We got by, we did well. But you would have these little moments, these little people that just, they couldn't get their life together to save their life. But that was to be expected, right? When you have a policy that everybody must participate in a choir, even if they can't sing. I kind of view the harmonization of working life and home life kind of like this choir that harmonizes together. It's almost like it's to be expected that you have something that's going to go off key, something's going to go off beat. Before you know it, you getting a letter from the school. You thought everything was fine, and they telling you Miss Ma'am is cutting up in class. Mr. Sir can keep his hands to himself. Your baby is biting the other babies. Okay, we having more stomach issues than we thought we had originally. There's going to be some offbeat things happening in your life. And yes, life is good. We love, right, being moms. We love being wives. We love having a family. These are things that we pray for. We love being able to work in our purpose and build our careers and build our businesses. These are the things that we prayed for. But the moment that we forget or refuse to accept that the key and at the core of balance and at the core of harmony to our lives is being able to adjust to the offbeat and to the off tune, you are setting yourself up to feel like a failure. I have told you this before. I'm sure other people have told you this before. You probably have told yourself this before. You cannot keep up full capacity in all levels of your life. Like realistically, I believe that we understand that, like you have the understanding of this, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, and at the end of the day, when you're like, Coach, I put in what I have and it still wasn't enough, and then you rest into that and you feel like a failure, then like something has to adjust to come out of that feeling, but also adjust in your external life in the way that you are managing both of these parts of your life. So here are some common challenges that I see that I've personally come up against, and some of the adjustments that need to be made in order to make these common challenges work easier or more harmonized, if you will, to fit your life. So coming in hot is your capacity. I know I talk a lot about capacity, like what I can contain within myself, what I can contain within my head, related to work, related to the emotional capacity that my family is requiring of me at that moment, whatever is happening within my life, like what are the margins that I have? Am I in a season to where I'm upbeat and I feel more like myself and I feel like I'm energized to just go after it? Or have things just felt a little off, like a little like Coach, I'm trying to get on top of that note and it's not hidden, right? You have to understand that your capacity fluctuates. If we think about like the way that our women and the way that our bodies naturally flow on a monthly cycle, if you have a regular cycle, your body goes through this cycle every month where it's like, we got energy, we don't got energy. Okay. And when you are trying to do high energetic things, when you don't got energy, there is always going to be a gap and a clash. And it's always going to leave you like, Coach, I'm not on top of my game. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. So thinking about your current capacity, what can I realistically handle emotionally, physically, spiritually? Okay. Um, from a relational standpoint, what can I handle and what can I not handle? You also have to think about the work demands that you have. I've talked to some of my clients who have been business owners who, work in corporate, who just like they're in their professions and they've been doing the same thing over and over. And they know, Coach, in the winter, it get real rough, right? Or for some people in the summer, it gets real rough. In the spring, right? Whatever your work high flow, Monday is rough, Friday is good, Wednesday is rough, Tuesday is all right. Like being able to understand the levels of your work demand and being able to balance and shift and adjust around that, right? Like thinking that when the offbeat things happen in your life, and we can't always predict what those things are, right? We can't always predict when something's going to pop off at work or pop off at home. But there are some things that we do kind of have a little bit of a grasp on when it comes to the highs and the lows, energetic wise, when it comes to work, right? But then also at home, like sometimes, if you've moved recently and you're in a different environment, or you're trying to find a new place to call home, you're trying to find a new church community, you're trying to find all these different things, it's not the same. And requiring yourself to be balanced in this area of your community relationships and harmonize in this area of just kind of your work outside of your family and outside of your work to be good, that may not be realistic. What is happening in your external environment that's demanding of you? And then, of course, we cannot forget about what's demanding in the family, right? If you got a teething child, Coach, that's a lot. You're losing a little bit more sleep. If you have, kids who are thick into the project era of their lives, and they tell you at 9 o'clock at night that they got a project due tomorrow. I mean, there's just different things that come up that you have to look at as these almost kind of outliers, right, to the balance and the harmony of life. And essentially just adjusting your inner capacity and your inner tempo, what you can give out versus what you can put in, having that match what's happening right now in your life, right? Giving yourself that inventory and looking around you to say, actually, I'm not in a place where I can incorporate and even expect everything to be on the same level, what we typically think about when we think about balance, right? For me to think that everything has to be on the same level when I'm in a high demand season at work, right? Or we're in a high demand season of trying to find a community or look for a new environment that's going to suit our family a little bit better. We're in a high energy or demanding part of our life with our kids. We can't be expected to be balanced with other parts, right? These little outliers, these little offbeat, off tune situations that happen in life, they're still a part of balance. They're still a part of harmony. The sooner we can get out again of this mindset that it has to be black or white, I have to be going 100 miles per hour, I have to be productive every minute of the day, or I'm just a lazy bum sitting on the couch and not doing nothing, right? The core of being able to balance these two is being able to adjust well. I remember like this past month in my household, we had a lot going on. Okay. We felt every second of every day that was happening in January. Okay. I had an injured finger. I had to get an emergency tooth pulled. There were school closures. There was things happening at work. It was a lot. And if I pass the mic over to you and say, baby, what was happening in your life this month? I promise you, you can give me 1,000 things that happened unexpectedly, that were offbeat, that were off tune. But overall, when you zoom out, right? Don't narrow in on that one day, that one moment. But you zoom out and you look at what's happening in your life, maybe you will start to feel a little bit more harmony, right? When you look at the whole choir, not just the person who's singing off beat. Ma'am, I don't know why you can catch this note, but okay. You zoom out and you're like, oh, okay, the choir kind of nice. You know what I mean? They got a cute little outfit. They swaying on, they kind of nice when you zoom out and you look at your life and the way that you are adjusting, right? The way that you are getting back into the game, the way that you are resting when you're tired, the way that you are asking for help when you need it. That, my friend, is harmony and it's balance. And it's all the things that we need to be able to manage both work and our home life. So, yes, you can have it all. Yes, you can have it all, but not at the same time. Yes, you can do everything you want to do. Yes, it's too much. Yes, it's not enough. Yes, you need to take a nap. Yes, it's time to rest. Yes, you can get all the energy if you just eat blah, 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 fill in the blank. All of those things can be true. And at some point, they are true. Maybe they are not true at the same time, but it doesn't mean that they're not true. So whatever your balance or your harmony looks like in this season of womanhood, as you're balancing all the things together, give yourself a little grace as you manage it all. I hope that this conversation was helpful in, again, challenging that there's one definition to balance and that it has to all be even and pretty and perfect on the outside, that there cannot be any there cannot be anything that gets into the way of it looking or seeming to be that way. There is no perfection when it comes to this. I'm very proud of you. I know that you're doing the work, and I know that one day you will feel it, even if it's just a thank you from one of your kids or a kiss on the forehead from your husband. But if you haven't heard it today, I am certainly proud of you, and I hope to speak to you in the next episode. Comment below any questions, comments that you have, and how you're currently balancing the harmony between work and mom life. And let me know how that's going for you. And until next time, peace in, peace out.